Hi boys and girls, I'm going to read this book here, If I Ran the Circus. It says, If I Ran the Circus, by Dr. Seuss. Not by David Wegener, but by Dr. Seuss. So I'm going to read this book, and guess what? I don't remember reading this book before, so I'm going to read it maybe for the first time for me, but you know, so we'll see what this book's like, okay? We'll discover this book ourselves. McGurkus. That's what I say. That's how I say it. If I ran the circus. I'm going around the wrong way, aren't I? Get my head around this. Get my head around it. If I Ran the Circus by Dr. Seuss. Okay? So look at that. That's pretty cool. They're very, very good, aren't they? Can you do that? I can't do that. I would be able to do that. That's pretty cool. It's better than skip rope. This book is for my dad. Big Ted of Springfield, the finest man I'll ever know. Okay, Big Ted. Big Teddy. Scratch a bit itchy in the ear. So, this is the first time I've read this, okay? So I'll try to. I'll have to read the words word by word. And all the whole town. Look, Sneelock's store. This is a store with a man with he's smoking a pipe. He's behaving himself. He's outside. He's almost outside. He's not completely outside, but he's outside. And all the whole town, the most wonderful spot is behind Sneelock's store in the big vacant lot. It's just the right spot for my wonderful plans, said young Morris McGurk, if I clean up the cans. Not a fellow like me, said young Morris McGurk, could get rid of this junk with a half-hour's work. I could yank up those weeds and chop down the dead tree and haul off those old cars. There are just 2 or 3. Oh, that big mess. Old broken down cars. Wonder if they work still. Oh, to make sure I show the picture. So that's the picture. And haul off these old cars. See the old cars? There are just 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3. We count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like finding Where's Wally in the book. And then the whole place would be ready, you see. So there's the store with the man smoking the pipe. Look at this. All ready to put up the tents for my circus. I think I will call it the Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus. So that's the Circus McGurkus. Now I'm probably saying that wrong. Probably meant to say it a totally different way. The Circus McGurkus, the world's greatest show on the face of the earth, or wherever you go. Look at that. Boy. Wow. Look at that. Wow. That's picking up the tent hooks. That's a hook with the crane to pick up the tent hooks so we can put the tent up. Reminds me of when I was a young boy. We had a big army camp tent, and we had to put that up, and everyone was amazed with it. It was like a house. It's an army tent, and I've got photos of that as proof too. Tonight is the grand opening. Yeah. The Circus McGurkus, the cream of the cream. The Circus McGurkus, the circus supreme. The Circus McGurkus, colossal, stupendous, astounding, fantastic, terrific, tremendous. I'll bring in my acrobats, jugglers and clowns from 1,033 faraway towns, to the place that you'll see 'em in, ladies and gents, right behind Sneelock's store in the Great McGurk tents. In the Great McGurk. I live in a street called that starts with Mac or road. Tents, and I don't suppose old Mac Sneelocks will mind when he suddenly has a big circus behind. Look at that. Wow. It goes like, it starts here, look. Here's Horton the elephant. Look, Horton the elephant. Look, there he is. There's Horton. And these are other characters from other Dr. Seuss books, you see. There's what we could call the Cat in the Hat. See, the Cat in the Hat. Is that the Cat in the Hat? And there's another elephant, and there we're characters of another Dr. Seuss book. See? And look at this long train. Look, it starts from here, goes from here, goes all along and between the elephant, pouring the other ones. Look how long this train is. Look, I don't think I've ever seen a train this long. Look. I bet you can't see that right there because that's still not the end of the train. So when he suddenly has a big circus behind. Circus McGurkus. Sounds like a gherkin. After all, Mr. Sneelock is one of my friends. He might even help out doing small odds and ends. Doing little odd jobs he could be of some aid, such as selling balloons and the pink lemonade. I knew that one. I knew that would rhyme with aid, lemonade. I made some lemonade this morning for the lockdown. I've got some lemon and I've got some water, and all I did was I put a few drops in each bottle for my H2O, which is water. That's what it's called in science, H2O. And carbon dioxide, David, is CO2. Whether it's a CO2, I don't think it's a C02. And then what's the other one? Oxygen is O2 with a wee small 2. Anyway, that's just a little bit of science for you, but I didn't even remember what H2O is. I thought it was CO2 as I was drinking my bottle, but I made some lemonade, and all I did was put a few drops of lemon juice in, because my neighbour's got some lemons, and all I did was squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in each bottle of water, and I put them in the fridge, and then they make the water's a wee bit nicer. So we got up to the pink lemonade. That's where we got up to. So part 2. I think 500 gallons will be about right, and then I'll be ready for opening night. Look, 500 gallons. Wow, of pink lemonade. And balloons galore. Look, they look like Where's Wally balloons. Those red and white ones. Look, McGurk and Sneelock. Wonder if they're still around. Can't do this too long with this silly back. Naughty back. What an opening night. What a night. What a sight. I'll hoist up the curtains, the crowds will crowd in. And my circus McGurkus will promptly begin. With a welcoming toot on my welcoming horn, by my horn-tooting apes from the jungles of Jawn. Where's that? Jungles of Jawn. Jungle Jawn. Jungle Jim. Where the very best horn-tooting apes are all born, cause the very fresh air there is fine for their lungs. And some of those fellas, I just about feel like doing an outtake. You know what an outtake is? I just about think, I'll do this again because I'm sort of reading this wrong. Cause the very fresh air there is fine for their lungs, and some of those fellows have 2 or 3 tongues. 2 or 3 tongues. Welcome. It says welcome backwards. They're blowing a big horn. They're all blowing a big horn. They're all doing that, and by the time it gets out there, it makes a lot of noise. You imagine a lot of me doing that. Oh, the people there, a lot of the people are watching. There's more people, see? Are they the same ones as page before? And look, that's looking too. That's an animal, well, you won't call it an animal. Look at all these people here. Look, how many people are there? Should count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could find Where's Wally there. This way, step right in. This way, ladies and gents. My sideshow starts here in the first of my tents. When you see what goes on, you'll say no other circus is. Half the great circus the Circus McCircus is. Here on stage 1, from the ocean of Ulf, is a slight, most amazing, a walrus named Rolf, who can stand on one whisker. Look, he's standing on one whisker. There's proof, see? Evidence. See? Proof. This wonderful Rolf, on the top of 5 balls, 2 for tennis, 3 golf. Look, there are 2 tennis balls and 1, 2, 3 golf balls. And he's just on a whisker. By a whisker, he's standing up. Look at that. Amazing, isn't it? Look, even everyone's looking and going, wow! And it's a marvellous trick, if I say so, myself. It says myself. It doesn't say myself. It says myself. And on stage number 2, here is something quite new. From a country called From comes this drum-tummied snum, who can drum any tune that you might care to hum. Doesn't hurt him a bit, 'cause his drum tummy's numb. And it doesn't hurt, it's in brackets. It's in brackets here and here. And it says doesn't, and that's does not. There's no, usually there's a word N-O-T. Doesn't, but there's an apostrophe up here which says that something is missing. That wee little mark above there is showing that something is missing, and my chair's going for a ride. Doesn't hurt him a bit, 'cause his drum tummy's numb. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Boy, the people are looking at that and they're going, boy, my stomach would be numb too if I did that. All those big drummers, the big drum things. And you'll now meet the Foon, the remarkable Foon, who eats sizzling hot pebbles that fall off the moon. And the reason he likes them red hot, it appears, is he greatly enjoys blowing smoke from his ears. I've never ever read this book. Well, might have read it a long time ago, but look, that Foon, the remarkable Foon, is blowing smoke from their ears. his ears. Of course, pebbles like this are quite hard to collect, but Sneelock will manage somehow, I expect. After all, Mr. Sneelock is one of my friends, and I'm sure he will help out doing small odds and ends. Look at that. Here's Mr. Sneelock. And on stage number 4, see the Willy Walloo, who can throw his Walloo, who can throw his long tail as a sort of a lasso. With a flip of the hip with a tail of this kind, he can capture whoever is standing behind. He can capture old Sneelock. I'm sure he won't mind. Look. He's still smoking his pipe. And now, here is Hoodwink. Look at that. Look, here's Hoodwink. Who winks in his wink hood. Without a good wink hood, a hoodwink can't wink good. And folks, let me tell you, excuse me, I'll have to get rid of that. It's just my phone. You might not have seen that. And folks, let me tell you, there's only one circus. With wink-hooded hoodwinks, the Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus. Here's another picture. They keep changing the pictures around and they put the words on the other side. It'd be nice if they just put the words there and then the pictures on the side. It'd be easier. The show of all shows. Look, this guy. Look, this guy. Pardon me. Excuse me. That's just because I've had my breakfast, which has got no milk in it, just water. Just cereal muesli with water. But anyway, here's this guy. This the show of all shows. This is the show. There's no other showman who shows you a show with a blindfold bowman. Look at that. He's going right through to the apple at the end. Okay? Who shows you a show with a blindfolded showman. Bowman. Showman bowman. The blindfolded bowman from Brigitte Barut, the world's sharpest sharpshooter. Look at him shoot. Through the holes in 4 donuts, 2 hairs on a worm, and the knees of 3 birds without making them squirm. And then on through a crab apple up on the head of Sneelock, who likes to help out, as I've said. That was a bit hard for me to read that, because it just is. And now come to the spot where the spotlight is hot, and you'll see in the spotlight a juggling jot, who can juggle some stuff you might think he could not, such as 22 question marks. Wow, that's a lot. Which is a lot. That just says it. I didn't know that. Also 44 commas. There's 44 commas there. I haven't counted them, but we'll just take the word for it. And also 1 dot. Where's the dot? There's the dot. That's the kind of Circus McGurkus that I've got. But that's just my sideshow. A start, a beginning. This way to the big tent you'll find your head spinning. Look at that. All the people coming, lots of people, all happy. They've got big smiles on their faces. No one's actually, they're all not social distancing, are they? So it happened before what we've got now. So they're all together. They're all in their little wee bubble. So, but that's just my sideshow. A start, a beginning. This way to the big tent you'll find your head spinning. Why, ladies and gentlemen, youngsters and oldsters, your heads will quite likely spin right off your shoulders. So hurry, step lively, quick ladies and gents, and get into your seats in my tent of all tents. My parade of parades is about to commence. You'll see Drum Major Sneelock fling flang his baton, and my organ McGurkus come on. Right? With its hot steaming pipes of gold brass plated tin, snorting all sorts of snorts in a bumbling din. That is super stupendous, stupendous, and when I play Dixie, please join in the chorus. Look at that big organ. Oh, wow. Look. Organ McGurkus. The Circus. This is a long book, isn't it? I wonder how long I've been doing this for already. 20 minutes and 40 seconds and counting. Then a fluffed, muffled truffle will ride on a huffle, and next in the line a fine flumox will shuffle. The flumox will carry a lurch in a pail, and a fibble will carry the flummox's tail, while on top of the flummox 3-harped twanging snarp will twang mighty twangs on their 3-snarper harp, while a bolster blows bloops on a 3-nozzled blueser, a nolster blows floops on a 1-nozzled noozer, and then comes a lion who's partly a trout, then more stuff for 45 minutes about. Look at that. There's a small Horton with long legs. And there is the Cat in the Hat and a train type of car, I think. And then behind them, while everyone stares, come on to and fro marches, who march in 5 layers. The fros march on twos, and the twos march on fros. Don't know how they do it, but that's how it goes. And now comes an act of enormous. No former performers perform this performance. This stunt is too slippingly frightening. Down from the top of my tent like grease lightning, through pots full of lots of big stickle bush trees. Look, cactus. Slides a man. What a man on his roller skis. And he'll stare without fear, and you'll know at a glance that it's Sneelock, the man who takes chance after chance, and he won't even rip a small hole in his pants. Woohoo! Look, there he is, showing off the enormous of sticklebush trees. Slides a man on his roller skis. And now, here in this cage, it's a beast most ferocious, who's known far and wide. Boy, my back is really sore, especially down the bottom, lower lumbar. Who's known far and wide as the spotted Totius, who growls, howls and yowls, the most blood-curdling sounds, and each tooth in his mouth weighs at least 60 pounds. Look, each tooth weighs about 60 pounds. And he chews up and eats with the greatest of ease things like carpets and sidewalks and people and trees. Better stay away from that. But the great Colonel Sneelock is just the right kind of a man who can tame him. I'm sure he won't mind. Then I'll let Sneelock off for a few minutes rest. While high over your heads you'll see the best of the world's finest, fanciest, breezy trapezum, my Zoop troop from West Upper Bendizing, who never quite know while they zoop and they zoom whether which will catch what one or who will catch whom, or if who will climb catch which by the what and just where, or just when and just how and which part of the air. But you'd have to be more coordinated than a chess player for that. You'd have to be very coordinated to know when you're going to be caught by the next person or not. Imagine that on America's Got Talent or UK's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. Hey, what a circus! My circus McGurkus. My workers love work. They say work us, please work us. We'll work and we'll work up so many surprises. You'd never see half if you had 40 eyes. Look, whole lot of Horton hatches an egg. Hen hats, everything. And these ones, I recognise these ones. Myrtle McTurtle, or whatever I think that's it. I'm not sure. And now again, Sneelock. Brave Sneelock is back. Look. Risking life on my painted life risking track. While my speedsters I call my colliding collisions. Look, I've got a car like that. Or like that, or like that. I've got a car, a convertible. While the speedsters I call my colliding collisions race around in swift cars called abrasion contrusions. And Sneelock just lies there, not one bit excited. I know he won't mind. He'll be slightly delighted. And here, in a contest of brute strength and muscle, could Sneelock my champable champs all now tussle. There he is, with his pipe. And wrestle a beast called the Grizzly Ghastly, and slap him around, then he'll slam him down fastly, and pin both his shoulders tightly flat to the mat. Kid Sneelock will love it, I'm sure about that. Got some interesting characters in this book. And while that goes on there, and look at this go on here, have you heard of my herd of 3 horns jumping deer? Even deer, every deer jumps through horns of another pell-mell, while his horns are jumped through at the same time as well, by a deer whose horns also are being jumped through by another who's having his horns jumped through too, which I'm sure trainer Sneelock can train them to do. Can't do much more. Then the whole tent will ring with hoorays and wild shouts when I wheel in my whales and turn on their spouts. First my whale number 1 with an aim that aims true spouts a spout that spouts Sneelock to whale number 2. Is that number 2 there? Whale number 2 or that whale number 2? And then whale number 2 spouts his spout like a gun, and that spouts old Sneelock right back to whale 1. And then forwards and backwards on spout after spout, my great spout rider Sneelock gets spouted about. See, he's just going. And there is the circus director who's standing on a very large podium. Just as long as the water they're spouting holds out. If they run out of water, well, it's a long book. Then my tournament nights, sounds like chess. Then my tournament knights, noble apes without fears, Sir Hector, Sir Vector, Sir Bops and Sir Bears, Sir Hawkins, Sir Dawkins, Sir Jawks and Sir Jeers, clatter into the tent, and while everyone cheers, stage a roustabout joust with their boxing glove spears. They're jousting. Boxing glove spears. Look, boxing gloves, and they're jousting with this boxing glove spears. And while all this wild ruckus scene goes on below, at the top of the tent, look, the star of the show, great daredevil Sneelock. There he goes again with his pipe, still smoking his pipe. See, I've got the mouse in the way, haven't I? The star of the show, great daredevil Sneelock, the world's bravest type. He comes pulled through the air by 3 Subrian snipe. Subrian. On a dingus contraption attached to his pipe, and while people below are all turning chalk white and all biting their fingernails off in their fright, great Sneelock soars up to a terrible height. Then he shakes himself loose. He starts down in a dive. He's diving. Look how far he's got to dive. Such as no man on earth could come out of alive. But he smiles as he falls with his pipe still, smoking his pipe. And no fear does he feel. He feels no fear. I've been told that. I've been told that I have no fear. But I do have fear. His nerves are like iron, his muscles like steel. And he plunges down, down, with his hair still combed neat. 4,692 feet. He's falling 4,000. That's 692 feet. That's a lot. He's just been let off by the hook that's holding him. Then he'll land in a fishbowl. Look at that. Look, we know that fishbowl, don't we? We recognise that fish is from the Cat in the Hat. Then he'll land in a fishbowl. Look, he'll manage just fine. Don't ask how he'll manage. That's his job, not mine. I'm just the director of the circus. Why, he'll be a hero. Of course he won't mind when he finds that he has a big circus behind. So there you go. He's got a circus now in that bit of land, and he's still smoking his pipe. And that's the end of the story. McGurkus, 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 McGurkus. That's what it says. So, stupendous. I say stupendous. Okay. That's the end of the story for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's very hard for me to be able to read this because of my back, that sort of thing. It's really, really a naughty back. Okay, thank you.